Let's talk about Relator at work. So, I would imagine that at work, you likely have very close relationships with your colleagues or with people on your team, or you know a lot about the people on your team or who you work closely with. And you really enjoy going deeper with the people that you spend the most time with at work. You probably don't really feel like you need to know everybody at work, especially if you work for a really large company. But you probably do want to really know the people that you interact with most frequently on a deeper level. Because of your genuine interest in others and getting to know them on a deeper level, people at work likely view you as authentic, vulnerable, and maybe trustworthy. You're not exactly a no new friends kind of person, but you do invest a lot of your energy in the people that you already know or the ones that are already within your circle. When it comes to your career, I would imagine that traditional networking feels like a lot to you. You probably don't want to spend your time having a million surface level discussions. You would much rather spend that time talking deeply with a few people. So, we all know that when it comes to building our careers or building our jobs, we do have to quote unquote network. But this can look different for you than it does for maybe someone who has woo in their top strengths. For you, maybe you approach networking through spending time researching people, learning about the different people in your organization or the different people in your industry, and finding individuals who you truly want to connect with and want to build a relationship with. And then scheduling coffee, scheduling lunch, or, a virtual call or something like that, where you have more time and more opportunities to go deeper, to really understand who they are, and to build a lasting relationship with them. You are probably not interested in just handing out your card and hoping that that works out. You actually want to know people. You want to have multiple interactions with them and really understand them on a deeper level. And that's okay. Pursue networking in the way that feels aligned to you, the way that feels energizing to you, because that's ultimately going to be more successful for you when it comes to career growth and your trajectory than trying to do it the same way that other people are doing it, which might feel overwhelming and uninspiring to you. When it comes to a professional environment, you would likely benefit from mentors or like having a mentor, or you would probably be a great mentor yourself. An opportunity to build strong relationships that supports you professionally is going to be much more energizing, much more lucrative to you than attending a bunch of lunch and learns or even networking events or just like large learning opportunities, because you're probably going to learn best and like propel your career in the best way if you are leaning into this desire to have deeper, more meaningful relationships with people. Regardless of the work that you do, you probably benefit from and enjoy one on one interactions, maybe more than some of your peers. So you may enjoy having one on ones with your boss consistently, or you may prioritize one on one conversations with your colleagues or direct reports. Maybe you don't love the formality of that, but you do enjoy time and space to connect with people one on one. I'll give a personal example that a lot of my career was spent in recruitment, which to a relator may seem really overwhelming, but what I really enjoyed about it was the option to talk to candidates one on one, the opportunity to get to know them on a deeper level and see if they were right for that role. So it was interesting that such a large, very kind of public opportunity where I had to talk to a lot of people actually was energizing for me. I did enjoy that because I was able to infuse my relator into each of those conversations. Now, when we had to do speed networking and things like that, not for me. But the chance to get to sit down and do coffee chats with potential candidates, I loved that. So don't write off, opportunities that would require you to be in communication, in conversation, in community with a lot of people because you like to go deep. There are opportunities to go deep, even when there's a lot of human individuals involved. One thing to look out for when it comes to your relator is that this commitment to deepening relationships with people that you already have can sometimes seem exclusionary to those who are not a part of your circle already. To some, your relator can feel like you're unapproachable or like you're not interested in new friendships or new relationships. So I would just encourage you to ask yourself, like, how are you opening up to others? Or when it comes to work, who in your organization can help facilitate meetings and initial relationship or connections with others in your work environment so that you can then use your relator strength to go deep and build relationships with them without maybe having to do all of the initiating yourself. At the end of the day, especially in a work environment, you likely make people feel seen and appreciated and important and known. Keep being you. Just remember to also continue to put yourself in situations that encourage you to open your circle a little bit at a time. Another thing to keep an eye on is that you may not thrive in an overly formal work environment, meaning that if that environment does not encourage or value relationships, or you're feeling like you can't be yourself or you can't connect with other people in this work environment, then it might not be the one for you. I do want you to be weary of organizations that claim to be a family and are maybe a little too much into the like, we all hang out all the time and get along, because that's got some red flags in and of itself. But you are looking for an environment where people do have relationships and where they do know each other well and can create more functional work environments because of that. So finding that balance and knowing that if you're feeling really icky at work right now, it might be because you don't have the opportunity to have mentorship, to have deep relationships with the people that you work with, to know them on a deeper level. And if that's the case, it might be time to look for something new. So that is that is the overview of Relator at work. In the next video, we're going to talk about how Relator shows up in your life, which is a big way because it is a relationship building strength. So I'll see you over there.